Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Nazar Labunets with Ataccama, and today I have the pleasure of talking with Palash Thakur, a VP, Head of Data Analytics and Fraud at Interac. So welcome, Palash.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining the interview. Let's get started. And data governance and data
Mhm.
quality programs
Yeah,
are extremely important there.
yeah.
So, um, is there a framework that you use to, organize such a program?
Let's talk about data governance, right? And obviously, data quality will be a part of that. So, um, I'll give our example. So, we started our data governance program about 3 years back, and we started ground up, right? We were very intentional in designing what I would call an adaptive data governance program, one that is lightweight, adaptable, fit for purpose, enables the organization, yet it encompasses all facets of an effective governance program. And we made sure data governance becomes a force multiplier in our data transformation journey, right? You start with establishing our data governance policies and standards, instituted an operating model, defining our data domains, identifying our data stewards, establishing the various levels of data councils with execs, with lead stewards, with the stewards and SMEs. We ensured right protection and guardrails in place to mitigate risks, defining permissible use of data sharing frameworks, and we put in enterprise catalogs for better lineage and provenance. From a data security and privacy point of view, we are very soon implementing automated data discovery and classification solution to secure our sensitive information. Then, when you look at the AI ML models that I talked about, we put in a governance framework there, model governance framework in place, so that the models we put in production are reviewed. They're tested, they're explainable, they're well documented, and free of bias, right? And then the other point, which is an ongoing point, and you'll never get to the end of the story, is the data quality piece, right? It's a critical component of the whole data governance flow. It's very important to identify the key dimensions of data quality, monitoring and remediating these issues on an ongoing basis, because good health and hygiene of our data is so important to ensure we deliver trusted insights and set sights on potential monetization opportunities, as I would say, right? So data governance, as I said, is super important. It is it takes time to explain the benefits of it to the business and to the broader organization. But I think if you follow a very well templated approach to this, you know I think you can definitely justify the value of investment, as well as set up a good solid function, a data governance function that can help protect the data that you have and deliver better insights, right?
Yeah, yeah, interesting. So, you mentioned that data quality is ongoing, never
Mm.
ending, and that's interesting. So, is it because you always get new data sources, or the issues are just unexpected, they change all the time? Um, is that the case? And how do you prevent that? How do you navigate through that uncertainty?
Yeah, I mean it's a combination of few things, right? So obviously you get new sources as we launch new products and new services. You get new sources of data as you're subscribing to additional third-party data or whatnot. Again, a new source of data, right? With it comes in new rules, new business rules that you have to put in, and issues will keep coming. I don't think you can ever get rid of issues, right? When you're ingesting so much of external data. That's how I would put it, right? But I think what is important again is to have a solid data quality framework, right? A process in place whereby you have your dimensions ready, right? These are whether it's accuracy, completeness of data, timeliness or whatnot. You define those, key dimensions. You monitor continuously against those dimensions. You should have a good data quality issue management process, right? So as they come in, you have to know how you resolve it. Who do you engage, right? And sometimes it's not just the data governance team that fixes all of these things. There's a lot of upstream, downstream implications of these things. So all of these things need to be taken into consideration. But I would say if you have a solid framework and a solid approach to it, a lot of these things can be remediated. And the other important factor I'll come back to is education again, right? And literacy levels. The more you can educate the users, the more you can educate your partners, and you can probably express the importance of good quality and good hygiene data. I think that's where you can continuously solve these problems. I mean, obviously, you'll have to have your measures, and as you measure your data quality, you'll see an improvement, right? But getting to 100% of issue-free data is probably a pipe stream.
Yeah. And that's probably not really the goal, right?
No.
Needs to be good enough. All right. I have just one more topic I wanted to discuss, and that's, AI and GenAI and ML models. So you mentioned them a bit.
Yep.
I don't know whether you are developing any kind of internal solutions within your company. But what do you think about the potential of, these technologies, for data and for business?
Yeah, I think very critical function, critical capabilities, I would say, for the success of any data analytics organization, or for that matter, any organization, I would say, right? So we've been using, AI, machine learning, for a long time, and our primary use case is fraud detection on the payments, right? So yeah, we've been using it. We've been, obviously enhancing the type of the techniques that we use over time. We're getting better and better. The data sets are getting larger, so your training data sets and everything. We have a pretty solid grasp on that. So yeah, I think everybody within the organization is very well aware of the potential AI technologies bring in. We have recently just concluded AI strategy, developing an AI strategy alongside corporate strategy group, and it very openly calls out what are your lane one opportunities, what are your lane two opportunities, your short to medium term, and what are your long term opportunities there. And again, it's something that we have done very intentionally, gone around the organization and talked to all the business areas and figured out what are their aspirations, what are the business aspirations, and how do you really align our AI strategy, our data strategy to deliver against those, right? On Gen AI, I would say, it's definitely a hot trend, right? Hot technology. It depends on the use cases. I think it is very important that you assess what sort of use cases Gen AI can benefit, right? And I think many a times, when you hear a buzzword, when you hear a new concept, you see the industry just jumping along, right? And to try something new. In that process, I believe sometimes being a fast follower or an intelligent follower gives you a significant advantage because you've planned through your approach, you've done your due diligence, you know what sort of use cases technologies like Gen AI can solve. You test and learn before committing any investments, and that's the approach we are taking, right? And the good part with Gen AI capabilities is most of the tool sets that we have internally today, right? They will come up with some of the Gen AI capabilities and features. So you don't need to really buy a separate platform to do Gen AI, right? So again, a lot of this is use case driven, as I would say. But you have to do your due diligence. You have to let the capability mature. You have to learn from what the industry is doing. And if there is anything worth pursuing that gives us competitive advantage, that really drives our aspirational goals further, we should utilize it. But yeah, we are very much into the thick of things when it comes to AI and machine learning. And on Gen AI, I would say we have been evaluating. We've been doing our due diligence.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. A very sensible answer. Makes a lot of sense. So thank you, Palash, for joining me today. Please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews.
Thank you.